Hey, so this is going to be a story time about the time, I guess it's called a fuckboy, but the time I dated a fuckboy. His name is Chris. I'm going to use his real name simply because he was a terrible person. And granted, everyone has a chance to change, but I'm really hoping he changed, but if he didn't, then Chris, people know about you. So, backtrack to... we started talking, and to give you an idea of my mental health, it wasn't that great. I was in and out of hospitals, I was anorexic, I was very, very depressed, and had very bad anxiety. So, and Chris knew this. So we were talking, and then he guilt trips me into going out. He's like, no one's ever he's never had a good girlfriend, everyone's always cheated on him, this, that, and the other, and he's like, well, he made me feel really guilty for not dating him. So I agreed to go out with him. And immediately, he's, like, extremely clingy. Like, he's always blowing up my phone if I'm sleeping. He'll, like, get mad if I don't answer. He'll be like, hey, hey, hi, 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 sad emoji, sad emoji, sad emoji, and, like, he'll blow up my phone, and it was really annoying, and I let him know that, and he got mad at me for it. He was like, okay, well, fine, and he would, like, push me away, and it wasn't good. It wasn't a healthy relationship, so I broke up with him because I wanted to get myself out of there. It wasn't healthy, it wasn't going anywhere, it was just very, very unhealthy. So I broke up with him, and he tried really hard to get me back. I kept putting him, like, saying, no, I don't want to go out with you, and he told me that if I didn't go out with him, he was going to kill himself and blame me, basically. It would be my fault that he killed himself. So I agreed to go back out with him because I didn't want him to kill himself. I've had a lot of issues with, suicide and such, and I don't want anyone else killing themselves, especially because of me. So that was the thought process I had, so I went back out with him. And again, he was extremely clingy. He didn't want me to go out anywhere. He didn't want me to hang out with anyone. He'd get mad if I didn't answer my phone. Every single time he would message me or call me. It was just really unhealthy. So I break up with him again. And this goes on for a while, like 3 or 4 times I've broken up with him, and he said he would kill himself, and then I go back out with him because I don't want him dying. So I should know by now he's a bluff, but I don't, because that doesn't register, because it doesn't register to me, in my opinion. Like, at that point, my thought process was no one would bluff about that unless they were serious. So I didn't want him to die, so I went back out with him. And then about the 3rd time I went back out with him, I was really sick because I was anorexic and I was so malnourished I couldn't get out of bed because I didn't have the strength or the energy. So I told him I was sick and I couldn't go anywhere because he wanted me to go down to his house. And he was, like, arguing with me, trying to get me to go down to his house. He's like, I need you right now, come to my house, I could really use you right now, something happened, it's serious, and this, that, and the other. So I told him I couldn't, that I was sick and I couldn't get out of bed. And he's like, well, I don't care. If you don't come down to my house, I'm going to slit my wrist, and if I die, it's your fault. So what do? I take my sick little ass all the way down to his house. Why? So he wouldn't slit his wrist. And you want to know what the emergency was? He wanted to see me. I walked 2 blocks because he wanted to see me, and I thought he was going to kill himself. His mom had to drive me home because of how sick I was. So, needless to say, I broke up with him. And that was kind of the last straw. So I broke up with him, and I've been ignoring him. He's been blowing up my Facebook. I block him. And he's trying to get me back, like, super hard. And he's like, oh my god, well, if you don't go out with me, I'm going to kill myself. I'm like, look, stop guilt-tripping me, stop manipulating me, stop, like, verbally fucking with my head, stop lying to me, because he was a really bad liar. I'm pretty sure he cheated on me, but I don't have proof of that. I'm not sure. Stop. So I'm not 100% sure if he cheated on me, but he was a liar. He manipulated me. He was guilt-tripping me. He was, using my mental illnesses against me. He knew what would bother me and what would get him to get his way. So he would do it to his advantage. And he tried a lot to get in my pants, but I would always, like, draw the line, like, no. He would always, like, make up an excuse on why, like, he's like, come on, let's just do it. I'm like, no. He obviously didn't respect the fact that I was uncomfortable with that and didn't want to. He only cared about him. So I did eventually break up with him for good and then never talked to him. And then December of last month, I know he messaged me, and I told him, like, at first conversation, he said, hey, and I just said no. And that went on a few times, and so, then he was like, oh my god, what do I do? I don't remember anything. And I told him. He, like, manipulated me, guilt-tripped me, verbally fucked with my head, and he was just not a good person. And he's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I don't remember any of that. And I was like, look, we're not going to be friends. You were a very terrible person. You hurt me in ways other people haven't. And I'm not going to carry you back in my life in hopes that you change when you've proved to me so many times in the past that you don't know how to change. And he like blew me up. He was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, please take me back, this, that, and the other, like, sad emoji, sad emoji, sad emoji. I was like, look, leave me alone. And I blocked him. And he made a new Facebook and messaged me. And I didn't block that one because I had to, like, my account got deleted due to Facebook, so I made another one. And I have a Facebook page, like, for my photography, and he, like, follows that. And he comments on my pictures, like, oh my god, so pretty. And I'm not going to block him off that because, quite honestly, if he's a fan of what I do, that's fine, as long as he's not a fan of me. So I keep him on there, but if he gets out of hand on there, I will block him as well. I don't know if he watches my videos, but if he does, Chris, hi. But yeah, I guess that's the time I dated, I shouldn't say fuckboy, but like a verbally fucked up person. I don't know. Bye.